Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us at our 25th Annual Growth Conference here at Needham. I am Scott Berg. I lead the enterprise software and SaaS research efforts here for the firm. Today with us, we have AppsFlyer, a company I met for the first time last summer while I was in Tel Aviv that I'm excited about. With us today, we have Oren Kaniel, the company's CEO. He's going to run through a standard presentation here, and then when the presentation is over, we will take audience Q&A. For any of those of you out there that do have questions, there is a Q&A box within the presentation window. You can enter those on. I will receive those and moderate those, or feel free to email them directly to me at sberg@needhamco.com. But besides that, Oren, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. Thank you for having me. Good morning or good afternoon to some of us. Good. So today I'm going to talk about who we are and how it started, basically our story, some of the reasons for our success, at least in my view, and the future of the digital ecosystem, privacy and regulation that is basically very interesting for all the ecosystem and digital ecosystem and for us. Good. So 12 years ago in 2010, I went to the US as an exchange student. Over there, I was fortunate to work to find a summer internship in a local VC in Philadelphia. Over there, I researched mobile applications. It was really at the beginning, data analytics and marketing technologies. And I had really three major findings. One, that mobile is growing exponentially, and it really reminded me the 19th century gold rush and the Levi story specifically during this time. Only that this time app developers needed software tools to allow them to do a great job and to become successful in this emerging market. The second thing is the lack of measurement, a lot of spray and pray. Basically, with a mobile application established without cookies. So everybody talking about replacement for cookies and all that kind of stuff, but we've been working without cookies and working on technologies to replace cookies in the last 10 years. But it was very clear for us that without cookies, someone needs to solve measurement and decision-making data analytics, and this is what we've been doing. The third thing is I noticed the Wild West of companies, a lot of conflicting interests. And like in sports, the football referee must be unbiased and independent, and he or she cannot belong to any specific team. The same goes to the media and the advertising ecosystem. And I couldn't find even one company that is independent and unbiased measurement company. This is how I got back to Israel and start working on these findings with both Lisa and Reshef. We also found that app developers could not measure. Not only that they could not measure, they had to implement multiple SDKs into their application, like third-party cookies for native applications. And basically, this is not technically possible. And beyond that, it really introduced privacy concerns because basically these SDKs are sending data to the ecosystem partners without the ability to control or to manage it. To solve that, from one end, we have developed a universal SDK, some sort of B2C CRM and analytics platforms for mobile applications, and these are customers that use our SDK. And from the other end, we have developed the universal ecosystem APIs that allow our customers to basically work with the entire ecosystem. So for the first time, app developers could measure the user journey, the multi-touch attribution, lifetime value, return on investment across all the channels, organic, paid, referral, email, everything. And basically our consistent positioning of being independent and unbiased cloud service basically allowed us to develop that into probably one of the largest, if the largest B2B marketplaces in the world. Today, the AppsFlyer marketplace includes more than 10,000 different integrated partners across many verticals. So you'll find all the Facebooks, the Googles, the Apples of the world. You'll find data analytics, BI services, marketing automations, agencies, marketing cloud, Salesforce, Adobe, Oracle. Basically, the entire ecosystem in one SDK and accessed and measured from one single platform, the AppsFlyer platform. Customers, we have more than 10,000 different customers, brands that use the AppsFlyer cloud across all the vertical sizes and regions of the world. AppsFlyer became really a must-have, a mission-critical component for every B2C app. It sits at the core of their software stack. We serve small and big companies, startup and enterprise, and also highly regulated verticals like banks and finance. And it's really magical for us, this mix for multiple reasons. One, that marketers move from different companies across verticals, across sizes, and they want to use this the best tool or the best primary tool that really allows them to be successful in what they do. So we see a lot of banks hiring from gaming companies to help them develop their mobile analytics skills in these companies. And they really want to move and work with the best tool out there. And also, startup companies push us to innovate, and enterprise push us to stability, to security, to privacy, and compliance. And this is how kind of everybody wins. We measure 200 billion US dollar, 200 billion interactions, daily interactions for our customers. And last year we measured more than 40 billion US dollars for ad spend for these customers. In terms of value creation, we've been thinking about how to enable the ecosystem to innovate on behalf of our customers. So we've been only focusing on building the things that we are uniquely positioned to build, and not because we have great engineering. And everything else should be developed by the ecosystem by leveraging our ecosystem APIs and integration. So it's very simple. So if someone else can build that product, someone else should build that product. And if this is only us can build that product, we should consider building this product. And this is what enabled us to really build lines of products that are very unique in the market and very hard to compete with by definition. We found that, for example, the measurement technology that we've built for mobile applications is actually applicable for all the devices and all the platforms in the world. Especially these days with the privacy and the cookies deprecation. So we're talking about CTV, we're talking about web, gaming consoles, and basically any device and any channel. And basically all that really creates a huge opportunity for us because of all these restrictions. Another example is our engagement products that enables customer journey, web to app customer journey, email to app, email to web, websites, organic SMS, push, referral measurement and experience, deep linking, deferred deep linking, and also QR codes. You probably remember this Super Bowl from the good old days that we enabled the experience and the measurement of it. We have quite a few products, some premium, some not. In this slide, I can mention Expand, which is the largest mobile ad spend aggregation service in the world. And here I can mention Protect 360, which is probably the largest mobile ad fraud protection products in the world. Privacy. So with significant changes around privacy, whether it's platform changes or regulation changes, it's becoming a major concern and headwind for the entire digital ecosystem, platforms, our customers, app developers, partners, basically everybody. Measurement was always really complex, and now measurement and collaboration basically are becoming much more difficult and challenging. And the need for a trusted identity became much bigger in this privacy era when the deterministic identifiers are lost. And the need for machine learning and privacy-preserving technology to compensate the lack of deterministic data. And in the last couple of years, we've provided technologies that really enable to preserve users' privacy and to comply with the guidelines and regulation, but also to enhance the data insights customers and partners need in order to serve their customers. And I'm talking about technologies like that we introduced in the last 3 years. Aggregated advanced privacy, conversion modeling, predictive analytics, web-to-app measurement, incrementality, uplift measurement, and also creative analytics. And a year ago, we introduced the Privacy Cloud and Data Cleanroom. And the Privacy Cloud is basically a platform that allows companies to work together, to collaborate, and to preserve their customers' privacy. And basically with Privacy Cloud, we've demonstrated that users' privacy and great user experience and value can and should coexist and are not mutually exclusive. One of the ecosystem problems is that the user level data exchange between companies. And technically companies cannot collaborate without exchanging user level data, simply because this is how the ecosystem was designed and evolved with basically cookies for the web and identifiers for mobile. And with Privacy Cloud and the Data Cleanroom, instead of companies sharing user level data with each other, companies are able to safely bring their data into a trusted environment, the Data Cleanroom. And in other words, actually, they can bring the logic to the data instead of sending their data to the logic. And in this Privacy Cloud Data Cleanroom, they can define the data governance that they want to apply, what data goes in and what data leaves to who and how. They can minimize data. They can move from user level to aggregations, fully anonymization. They can apply all the AppsFlyer services, such as the measurement and the analytics and the predictive analytics audience. And they can also leverage third-party services in their data. And basically, it goes well above and beyond privacy because it's protecting your customer and business data that it's not going to be exposed to a competitor or a potential competitor. Basically, you're making sure that your data cannot work against you. In a way that instead of sharing, again, your customer data, your CRM data, sensitive data, you can share only aggregation. So this is good for privacy and this is good for business, and it means that customers or any company cannot leverage your data in a way that negatively impact your business. We're also working on privacy-enhancing cryptographic technologies such as differential privacy, homomorphic encryption, and private set intersection. This is not in production yet, and it's going to take some time to develop that to meet the scale. Basically, in the Privacy Cloud and Data Cleanroom, companies need to trust us. In this zero trust technologies, they don't need to trust anyone, because basically we analyzing encrypted data while encrypted. So we even cannot read the data. As you probably know, the entire digital ecosystem and the entire ecosystem is really experiencing significant challenges around privacy. And the combination of the macro conditions really creating significant existential threats to many companies in the ecosystem. And I also believe that we haven't seen the full implications of everything that is going on. But we also believe that there are significant opportunities in general in the market and specifically for us. AppsFlyer uniquely positioned as a independent and unbiased platform, and our naturality actually enabled us to provide solutions for the digital ecosystem to basically mitigate and solve the privacy challenges for the entire ecosystem. And we believe that our new and also future products Once they will be fully adopted by the market, we believe that we're going to see a recovery in revenue for these platforms and significant enhanced privacy. Basically, what I'm trying to say in terms of the company vision is that, if we believe that privacy is here to stay, and if we believe that collaboration and interoperability of the entire ecosystem are critical building blocks of the future, the world needs a privacy-preserving technology to collaborate. And what we want to do is to help build this infrastructure. And we believe that the privacy cloud and data cleanroom, the rest of the technologies, really introduces a revolution for how collaboration will be done in the future. Now we have 1,500 employees across 20 offices, really a global leader in attribution analytics. We're much bigger than all our competitors combined in this segment. Our revenue is growing every year, including last year and the last 2 years, the last 3 years, and we continue to grow this year as well. We have more than $300 million in recurring revenue. This is high margin, software as a service. Again, we're not selling media, we're not selling ads, we're not selling data, we're not in data business. 100% of our revenue coming from the app developers paying for the AppsFlyer cloud usage. So one last slide to recap what is AppsFlyer. First thing is mission critical attribution analytics and marketing measurement platform. It's a system of record, basically like B2C CRM or CDP that includes all the new data, all the data of the customers, including new form of data, which is the attribution data. We provide actionable insights, mainly on the marketing, but also on the product side. The customer engagement products, the deep linking, the smart banners, and the web to app solutions. We provide the marketplace, the access to the entire ecosystem with our marketplace, and basically this is an enterprise application platform. It's a cookie and mobile device identifier replacement, privacy-preserving measurement, and collaboration, which includes the privacy cloud, data cleanroom, basically allowing you to bring the logic to the data instead of sending your data all over the place to get the value that basically increase the risk, privacy risk and security risk. We allow companies to minimize their data, which is basically a requirement under the GDPR and the CCPA, and basically this is a basic elementary data privacy rule, data minimization. We allow our companies, our customers, to minimize our security risk and privacy risk. This is a kind of a byproduct. Once you minimize data, you minimize the privacy and security risk. And we enable fast and easy deployment of external and internal services because, again, we're not forcing to send your user-level data to platforms that will require you to diligence and make sure it's secure and okay to send them data. Yeah, and that's it on my end for today. We believe that we're just 1% done, and especially in the last couple of years that really introduced significant risks for the entire ecosystem for us, but also tremendous amount of opportunities that we are very excited about.
All right, thanks for all of that, Oren. That's a great overview. For those that do want to ask any questions from the audience, I had a couple come in, so we'll field those in a second. But there is a Q&A box on the screen. Feel free to input those or email them directly to me at sberg@needhamco.com. All right, a couple of other ones that came in here. The first one is, how do your customers, I'm trying to read it properly, how do your customers ensure or understand the accuracy of the attribution of the platform? How do they know that what you're doing is actually valid relative to their current measuring technologies?
Yeah, Scott, give me a second to shut the window, starting to press up.
Sure.
Winds. Well, it's raining also in Israel, so you can relax. It's not all sunny here all year long. Okay, good. So how do they trust the accuracy? This is a really good question. So first of all, we do it for 10 years. I know that this is not an answer, but we measure tens of billions of dollars every year for the last 10 years. And we work with all these platforms such as Facebook and Google for more than 10 years or 9 years. In terms of measurement, this is really complex. And so in many cases, we can show exactly how accurate it is. And in some cases, we don't really. So we have accuracy levels. And I can tell you that with the privacy preserving restrictions, specifically iOS 14, it's becoming much harder because you have the SKAD network question, which is one view of the word, which is very limiting. You don't have return on investment. This is really kind of counting installs, but it's technically impossible to measure ROI. But once you combine SKAD network and conversion modeling and deterministic attribution, because you still have a segment of users that opt in with the ATT. Now I'm getting a little bit complex, but I'll think about that. You can put all the data together into some sort of machine learning, but not only. We provide such a technology to combine the two data sets together that is really unique. So basically, we are leveraging the SKAD network protocol, which is kind of a framework that Apple provided. And we use one bit of information over there to basically stitch the data together that you will have better accuracy and one single source of truth when it comes down to measurement on iOS, which is becoming much, much, much harder in the last year and a half.
Got it. Next question is on how do you price the platform? Is it by interactions, data size or frequency, or some other KPI?
Yeah, definitely. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about how, I'm not sure that I mentioned that. We have free product. No, I didn't mention it. We have free product that you can sign up to the platform, and you can start use our deep linking and basic analytics. This is completely free. And then once you grow, you can add your credit card and pay as you go. You can pay a little bit if you use a little bit. If you use more, you pay more. Then once you get to a certain level, it's worthwhile for you to turn into an annual contract that starts in $20,000 a year or something like that. This is the minimum amount. The average contract is $80,000 a year. And it goes up to 6 figures and 4 figures. The largest customer is less than 2% of the total revenue. Total revenue is $300 million. So they can buy certain volume and how they're going to use the platform, how many conversions and what's the daily usage that they have. And then they can add specific premium features and products such as the cost aggregation expand or the Protect 360 that I mentioned, the volume of APIs and this and that. Basically, 95% of our revenue coming from contracted revenue, basically the customers that sign up, which is an annual contract in most cases. More than 60% of these contracts are actually paid upfront for the entire year. Yeah, so that's, this is in a nutshell.
Got it.
The Privacy Cloud is priced a little bit different. Now, really, I'm trying to simplify it, but it's not simple. So on the Privacy Cloud, data clean room, the pricing is on the compute and storage. This is more of a BI kind of thing. That you buy credits, and the credits actually buy compute and storage. This is more of a data. Everything is a data, but this is a different pricing specifically for this product.
But next question is on kind of current macro a little bit. Is how does the AppsFlyer platform, or where does the AppsFlyer platform rank in terms of spending amongst your customers in the current macro environment?
I'm not sure I understand.
I think the question is really, with a macro environment where there might be a little bit of pressure on different types of IT spending, if this was the top priority before, has that kind of moved or changed at all in anything that you've seen recently?
I'll start from the end. When you start to save on attribution analytics, this is the one platform before you shutting down the electricity of the company. You have to have attribution analytics in order for you to run the business. It's a mission critical for companies that have any kind of business on mobile. You just cannot do anything without it. Now, does it mean that it takes us a little bit more time to close the deal? Yes, everything is slower. Does it mean that the customers try to negotiate? Yes, they try to negotiate always, and they try to negotiate now, but they know that they're using the best platform. They know that measurement was really, really important. And actually now measurement accuracy on the measurement becoming much higher. Because a year ago, money was free, so you can spend your dollars and maybe you cannot measure everything, and that's okay. But now it's not okay. Now they want to make sure that if they spend $1, they want to make sure that that they get some return from it, and you need this accuracy and this kind of scarcity in dollars. So we see that. We also see more demand for fraud protection. When you have a downturn, money is becoming more expensive, more open to fraud. Fraudulent activity is in the rise, and fraud protection actually growing more than 60% last year. So what we're seeing is definitely more need and more demand to what we do, especially in the privacy-preserving era, and especially the combination of these two really big challenges that happen together. Macro conditions and really, I don't know if you understand how significant the privacy and the platform changes in terms of privacy impacting all of us as consumers and all the brands and us, and we basically take this and say, okay, we are going to solve this challenge. This is what we're going to do. We are going to build the same way as we've done in 2011 and 2012. We saw lack of measurement. We saw spray and pray. We saw something that developers needed the solution. And we see that the same thing right now, just 1 million X in magnitude of scale.
I think we all see the change in privacy that's gone on globally over the last couple of years, and it's not changing anytime soon. That's for sure.
Yeah, it will continue, and it will continue, and it will create more challenges. And I think that we're going to see a little bit more chaos because we're going to see some stability. We're going to see platform changes. We're going to see local regulations, and regulators are really behind the market. And I think that they need to move faster to really understand the implications, because it's always a balance. It's not even a balance. You can get into harmony. What we're saying is, or the concept of, okay, if you want to have more privacy, you will have to pay more on the user experience and the value to customers. And we're saying, no. With new technology, you can really get your privacy much better and get this good thing of the user experience and the value for customers and the ability to get to customers and delight them.
All right, I have one last question here. We do have time for more, though, if additional ones do come in. The question is I like this question, is if you're just 1% done, how should we think about product innovation going forward? I imagine you sit on a lot of customer data that could be immensely helpful to your customers. I think it should have been consumer data that would be helpful to your customers.
Can you say again, please?
Yeah, you bet. If you're just 1% done, how should we think about innovation going forward? I imagine you sit on a lot of consumer data that would be helpful to your customers.
Yeah, definitely. So 1% done is something that we're using for the last 8 years, because we always found that we're not looking at what we've done. We're looking at the potential and what is we need to do more. And I would say that in the last 2 years, it's even less than 1% done, because we need to get much more done in the future. So, and specifically to develop new technologies to allow companies, basically the entire ecosystem, to do the same and preserve privacy. So basically to preserve what there is, right? So you got used to do something in a certain way. Now someone is taking that away. You need to invest in new technology to allow you to preserve what you have. That's a survivable. In order for you to survive, you need to do that. Now, the outcome of this specifically for us, that all of a sudden things that we didn't think that we need to be doing, let's say, for example, really providing kind of a platform for companies to work on their data in one data set without moving the data, is not something that we plan on doing so early in the life cycle of the company, but we kind of pushed for it. So what happened is that customers told us, okay, so now we cannot get the user level data. You still have the data in your servers. So why don't we just give you my CRM data? We can analyze. These are the queries that we used to run on our own BI. So they have their own BI, homegrown. They have their own BI with their own warehouse and BI. Now they use the same logic inside our server. So all of a sudden we became kind of a BI system for them, at least for some use cases. And this is specifically for the data clean room business. And we really believe that this is really just the beginning of how the next generation, at least enterprise software, is going to look like. Instead of enterprises sending the data all over the place for vendors, we believe that these vendors are going to bring the logic into their data or the data sets, and the data sets basically here in AppsFlyer.
Well, that is the last question that we have. I wanted to thank everyone for joining us, and especially thank Oren for the presentation time today. I wish you lots of luck in the rest of your meetings. If anyone has any additional questions, feel free to reach out to me directly, and I can either forward those or put you in direct contact with the company. Thanks so much, Oren.
Thank you, Scott. Have a nice day.